It's Tuesday, May 13th, 7 a.m. Hawaii time. So glad to have you all here. The questions this week are very interesting, very compelling, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Blue Healers have to say in response. It's going to be great. In the chat, if you haven't already looked, I put a couple of links. Many of you reach out to me and ask for the link to booking a session. If you would like a one-on-one session, it's a lot like this, only it's just the two of us. And occasionally, of course, you can bring a few other people if you want to share the space and the time with a friend or someone in your family. You're more than welcome to do that. So the link is in the chat. In addition to that, I put a link to the Bali retreat that is coming up. It's in September, the 5th through the 11th in Indonesia. If you're interested in taking a deep dive into the work that we're doing here, learning a lot more about how to connect to 5D, a lot more about the breath practice and how you can utilize those practices to um, heal your body, manifest more money, whatever it is you wish to do when you bring yourself more into coherence and connection with yourself and the world. I want to also thank all of the people who joined last week for the healing sessions for Derek. Truly wonderful as I'm listening to the recordings over again. There are 6 of them in total. I am always amazed and truly heartened by the experience of being in the presence of the blue healers and the other dimensional beings who come in to help any one of you heal something in your lives, whether it's the mind, the body, your spirit, just your connection to people in general, whatever it is. And the messages that they brought through last week were extremely potent. And I received a lot more information about a new breathwork practice that's coming through. So perhaps today we'll see that. Not 100% sure what's coming today. I did a meditation and they were very quiet. So I think it's going to be a surprise. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am assuming, since no one has said anything yet, that audio is working fine. Usually someone will tell me if they can't hear me and my mouth's moving.
Yes.
You're doing great.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So, as usual, we'll start with the heart breath. And one more piece of exciting news. I met with a graphic designer yesterday who's going to bring images to the breath practices and video to the breath practices so that I think that helps a lot when you're trying to learn something to see how it is in action. So it's going to be really exciting to see those come through. Exciting. Thank you, David. If you have any additional questions that weren't already put into the Telegram chat, you can put them into the Zoom chat right now. All right. So go ahead and close your eyes. It's always good for those of you in particular who are joining for the first time or listening to the recording for the first time. It's always great to get a baseline. And when the healers or I tell you to tune into your natural breathing, you just relax and sink into the breath that you have day in and day out. You don't have to force it. And scan your body a little bit. Start to see what's going on in there. Do you have the same pains in the same places? Do you have thoughts that have been very persistent? Maybe they've released a little bit today. Mm. Good morning to all of you. Continue to keep your eyes closed and focusing on your natural breathing. Today, we bring you a message of the the lunar cycle of the moon, where it was just full on your world. This was a particularly interesting moon cycle for us. We rarely notice the planetary influences for you on your planet. However, with the turn of this moon, and we sense for all of you the energies of the this full moon are beginning to wane. Uh, we bring awareness to this for you because it is our understanding that when you have information that validates, meaning it creates space within you for something you maybe have experienced, we find that it loosens up the energy in your body, whereby you connect better to the universal energies around you. This full moon, as we have stated about the energy of the month of May on your planet, more particularly in the northern hemisphere, the energy on your planet has felt very restrictive in the first 2 weeks of your month of May. As the next 2 weeks progress, you will find a loosening of the energy in a positive way that allows you to mm, utilize the expansiveness and release of the first 2 weeks, which were more about tapping into old patterns, old frequencies, and deep seated limitations that you have had in your life. Time is speeding up in a way on your planet, even though, as you know, time is what it is for the 3D. It simply means that the transformational process is increasing in its speed within you, and it is no longer feeling restricted by 3D time as it is dictated by your clock. So that means the transformational process in the last 2 weeks may have felt extremely tight, may have felt a little bit more challenging, may have felt kind of permanent for you in a way where you thought the intensity of this is going to be forever. Today, however, the energies have shifted significantly, and you will begin to feel a sense of urgency or speed behind stepping into the energies of the season of summer, which means everything from spring has bloomed. The summer heat and sunshine is coming forth to illuminate the beauty of all that spring has brought into fruition. And so, as you move into the next 2 weeks, recognize that the feeling of expansion will be much greater, and healing will produce results much faster in the next 2 to 8 weeks. In this process, allow yourself to ride in the speed of the ocean as it carries you to shore. Coming in the fall will be a deepening of your understanding of yourself and your purpose. And it all begins and has happened or is started in the last 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of May in your world. This does not mean that the southern hemisphere of your planet is without benefit. It simply means that the southern hemisphere of your planet had a different timeline, meaning that maybe the last 2 weeks of their timeline didn't feel quite as restrictive uh, or as much of a compression chamber. Their timeline maybe was 2 weeks earlier. And so it is just a slightly different feeling for those in the southern hemisphere of your Earth. We will begin with the heart breath now. And you will breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, allowing the heart energy to expand wide for whatever that means for you today. Perhaps it will be a marble into a baseball, into a balloon, into a hot air balloon, or into the size of your entire planet. As you reach the top of your breath, the expansion is complete and the contraction or the exhale begins to happen, where you release all that energy from the front of the heart. It circles around the arms to the back of the heart, rises up the spine to the eighth energy center, where there is a brief pause and the inhale begins again. We will guide and direct you. However, if you have a condition or a situation where your breath is a little bit more shallow, simply follow your own breath as it feels comfortable to you, knowing how to do the steps with the in breath and the out breath. It does not matter what your pacing is. We will begin right now. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 3. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 2. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 1. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, 3, 2, and 1 all at once. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 5. Release from front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 to 6. Release front to back and up to 8. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all at once. Release front to back and up to 8. And resume natural breathing, scanning your body briefly for the beautiful space you've created. When you are ready, we will begin with your first question.
First question is from Gigi. Dear Blue Healers, I am very nervous lately, and I believe it's because of my health issues. Can you tell me what to focus on first and who to turn to for help? I've already tried many different things for my diagnosis, but have not seen a full resolution. Can you help me with anything I am going through? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Gigi, but more than anything, thank you for bringing your loving heart to this space. When a human is unwell in any way whatsoever, whether it is through the physical body, the mind, or the heart and the spirit, the first place to focus is on the breath. This may sound like a simple solution. However, the potency of the breath is what brings you back into your heart, in connection with your mind, and in coherence with the source energy from which you have emerged. For many of you with medical conditions, with mental health conditions, it is easy for you to panic instead of becoming calm. Some of you have a timeline for the expiration of your existence in this form, and that produces a tremendous amount of anxiety. Some of you have a panic or anxiety response as a result of feeling that you will never be well, meaning that your condition will consume you until the end of your days. And for some of you, you see that your life will be much longer than you wish to experience the symptoms within your body. It is true that you can escape from your physical body through what you as humans call death, which is simply a transition from one form of your soul's journey on your planet to another. It does not, however, mean that you will receive the relief that you believe is coming. The complexity of the human in the existence you have on your planet is very interesting to us because many of you, when you leave one physical form in what you call death, which is simply the expiration of the physical vessel in which your soul chooses to have an experience. Once the expiration of the physical vessel in which you're choosing to have an experience is complete, and your soul releases itself into the next dimensional experience outside of 3D, so many of you opt to just do the same thing again in a new vessel, a new human body, where it is maybe looks different on the outside, but the experience is often very similar within. And maybe it is a slightly different iteration, but the relief that you wanted to have from one physical form to another is maybe not the relief you were expecting. And the unfortunate characteristic of traversing from one human form to another is that you develop something very curious to us, which is complete and total amnesia of the previous experience or numerous experiences you've had in physical forms, one after the other. And so, Gigi, we ask that you come into relaxation and love in your heart and acceptance and love for the individual experiences of health you are having. We see that maybe for you, these diagnoses are not optimal. They are not the experiences you wish to have, yet now they are consuming your entire thought process. How challenging this appears from our perspective, and how much love and compassion we have for you or for any of you who are experiencing symptoms of physical discomfort or even mental discomfort. And for you, Gigi, we see that your physical discomfort is creating a mental challenge as well. The best example we can give you for how to assist yourself in relieving yourself from your symptoms is the heart breath, is the spiral breath, and to listen to the recordings we have done of healing sessions with people where the breath practices come in succession. We know that during the breath practice, your mind will wander. We know that during the breath practice, you will begin to panic and say to yourself, why am I not feeling this? Why is it not affecting me? Why is it helping everyone but me? And why do I feel this need to know why I am not having the experience I think I should have? Instead, as with any healing work, you simply have to form a little bit of trust in the process. Even in your medical world, where a doctor gives you a pill, if you swallow it with the conviction that it will not work, you will validate yourself and it will not work. In fact, it may do something even further, which is to provide you with a whole host of side effects for which you do not want to have those experiences either. And so, this is why the medication that comes from your allopathic medicine is so confusing to your kind. It has been scientifically created for the relief of symptoms, but in the process, there are side effects for which you maybe do not want to even take the medicine at all. Breath practices, however, do not produce those types of side effects. They are simply you working with your natural body. Instead, if you are breathing your natural breath, focusing on expanding the heart in the simplest form of breath possible, you will only find that you can sink into love and connection. Instead, some of you allow your mind to hijack the process of even breathing. If the breath is the life which sustains you, and think of it this way, without breathing, the human body ceases to exist, and therefore it is naturally encoded in every human on your planet for the breath to create health and wellness. Why would it be that you find it a challenge to seek health and wellness through the experiences within the human body that are already in existence to clear negative imprints and patterns within you? These experiences that are naturally encoded in human DNA for clearing and cleansing the body of sensations of feeling unwell, whether it is physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, or however you wish to define it. These include your breath. the consumption of water, food, and medicines through your digestive process, your sunlight, which produces an effect in the physical body, whereby changing its chemistry slightly so that it can increase wellness. If your body, Gigi, or anyone on this call is out of balance, go back to what we would call your basics. Focus on producing positive results by breathing in the energy of health and wellness in the breath practices we have offered you. Within those breath practices are encoded the frequency of wellness. When you find your mind getting in the way and the panic and anxiety beginning to emerge and prevent you from enjoying simply being in love and connection and wellness, slow yourself down again. Say to yourself, say to your symptoms, I love you. Pain and suffering, I love you. I know that you are bringing messages to me, and taking it one step further, ask what the messages are. What are you trying to tell me? What is the pain, the discomfort, the psychological challenge trying to tell me? Maybe it is that there is a starseed origin within you that is attempting to connect, that is attempting to align with your humanity. And maybe if you simply can say to yourself, whatever my starseed origin is that is attempting to align with my humanity, welcome. I bring you in with my next in breath, and I sense and feel what it is you are, where you have come from, and how this connection within me will allow me to be free from 3D sensations of discomfort. If you find yourself in fear of your condition, embrace it and love it, objectify it, and see it as a separate being from you. So if your diagnosis for someone in the room is ALS, objectify this condition as a form outside of you that maybe looks a little like you but isn't really you. Wrap your arms around your diagnosis and say, you know what? I love you. I am okay with you being with me today and every day for the rest of my life. Know that it may produce feelings of discomfort or anxiety within you. Be the fierce mama bear, the fierce papa bear. Wrap your arms around this suffering child of your diagnosis, your symptoms, or whatever it is that you can manage to see outside yourself, and say, I will love this child in this form that it brings to me every moment of its existence. If you could see your diagnosis as a child that has been born to you, as a child that you will have forever. And for those of you with children, you understand this concept completely. Your child comes in its form, perfect as it is, with whatever it has going on. And as a parent, you will love that child fiercely, no matter what. Your diagnosis is simply a child within you that is saying, love me for what I am. Love me for who I have come as, and love me fiercely in every moment of every day. Your diagnosis, Gigi, is not trying to harm you. Your diagnosis is seeking love and connection. And the more you can lean into loving the beautiful child that it is, in all of its imperfections, in all of its suffering, in all of its fear, in all of its challenges, the faster you will find relief from your situation. We hope that this answer has helped many of you, and we understand that your suffering is real for you. Lean into the love, relax into the breathing, drink water, and allow it to hydrate your tissues so that you can continue to be and become the beauty of your coherent heart, mind, and belly all at once. Our love for you is profound. And remember, Gigi, remember any of you who are listening to this message, we are always here to love and support you. Simply ask, and we will be there with you in an instant. Your next question, please.
Next question is from David Flowers. Dear Blue Healers, what do you do for fun? What brings you joy?
Thank you, David. This is a wonderful question, and we appreciate that you are asking at this time. What we do for fun is to enjoy time connecting with our kind and sharing stories of our experiences with you. We are many in our number, and we are spread out through the universe as you know it, and the dimensional universe as you are attempting to understand it. We are, in understanding or attempting to create words that you can understand, we are fascinated by the library of the universe, the many experiences that our kind have throughout your universe with the many diverse beings who are in existence. We enjoy your science. We enjoy your literature, and each of the individuals of our kind who are assisting in your 3D world on Earth are finding more and more new and exciting ways to experience your world from what you might consider a crossover between 3D and 5D. So, for example, some of us appreciate reading books of your kind. And for us, we are attempting to learn how to sink into reading it page by page, word by word because for us, we simply need to use our intention to tap into it, and your literature simply becomes part of who we are. Imagine how fun this would be for you if you could hold a book in your world, regardless of the language in which it is written, and suddenly it becomes part of you. It is if the entire book, the intention behind it, the many messages it holds, both literally and figuratively, and the entire world of the author who has written it in all of the beautiful complexities of being an author come with the book as well. That becomes part of who we are, and we can share this with one another instantaneously. So it is as if a book has come to life on the stage of your world, of your life, and we become players within it if we choose to maybe embody one or more of your characters. So, this is also a metaphor. Sometimes our kind likes to enjoy your natural world. We can be in a forest in one country and in the ocean by the shores of another at the same time. We can allow experiences to cross over from one place in your world to another. We find this extremely fun because when we do so, the combinations are often comical. We also are fascinated by your science and the evolution of your science. And sometimes for us, we see that by simply enjoying or observing your science, uh, mm, transformation begins to happen and your science moves at a more rapid pace. We also are a little bit curious about your politics. Politics in your world is very messy. is the word that we would use. It is a way for humanity to come together and act out a lot of their experiences of dysfunction. And we find your television fascinating as well. It is both liberating and restrictive at the same time. We enjoy some of your music. We are curious to know why it is that you would allow sounds to negatively influence the energetic patterns in your body. And we also very much enjoy how sounds allow the energetic frequency of your body to be expansive and to introduce you to the complexity of the geometric patterns of which you are made. So listen to your music sometime and close your eyes and imagine that the breathing process that you are doing as you are listening, meaning you are kind of breathing through your ears and your sensory perceptions, allow yourself to see this music as the 3D patterns or the video that it may create of the 3D patterns within your mind. So we could go on at length, David, about the things that we enjoy, but much of it at this time has to do with enjoying your 3D world. When we are not part of Earth, we explore within ourselves, within our own place of origin, which, as we have described, is not exactly a planet. It would be something that you would describe as a floating space station that has the ability to move through the dimensions and your universe as well without the constraints of time. And when we are in that place, together we are sharing our stories and experiences of what we have done throughout our universe. And it is and brings great joy to us as well to participate in the community efforts that we have uh, of within our kind, where we exist, that allow us to do something similar to what you would call procreation, and to enjoy the evolution of our kind as well, as we bring in information from the universe to allow our kind to connect to other dimensional beings for whom you have not even made connection yet. We hope that answer has been interesting to you. Know that we will have more answers to this type of question should you bring it up in future conversations. We will take your next question, please.
Next question is from Anna Dominguez. Dear Blue Healers, Circle of 12, and Violet Beings, any advice on how to deal and resolve current blackout situations and other low vibratory world events? Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for your question. It appears that the practices you have done throughout your life to bring you into and experience the quantum field have created a situation where we are seeking words to assist you in understanding. So give us a moment. This blackout situation that you are experiencing is your 3D body going into a space of rest as you enter the quantum field so completely that your physical body becomes disconnected. We encourage you in your practice, whatever practice you are doing at this time, to, with your intention, keep one foot, either literally or figuratively, in the 3D world. This could be that you do your practice standing, or you do your practice with one hand holding on to something that has a sensation in the 3D world that will persist as you do your meditation. So, for example, maybe hold on to something that has a sensation for you that will keep reminding you that you are part of the 3D and the 5D world or the quantum world simultaneously. So it could be something fuzzy, something rough, something cold, something smooth, something that permits you in each breath to remember that your release into the quantum world is held firm by the 3D world. It may also be that you meditate during or simultaneously with another experience where someone is rubbing your feet or someone is rubbing your hands, or you are meditating holding the hand of another being in 3D, or holding something on your lap that is heavy, such as a stone. There are myriad ways you can do this. Try this practice and see how it goes. If the symptoms of blacking out persist, return to us with an additional question in 1 week's time. Your next question, please.
Next question is from Salam. What breathwork or meditation practices will help me get in tune with my higher self or source? Thank you.
The most rapid way to get in touch with your higher self or source, meaning the quantum field, is through the spiral breath that we have released, where you breathe in from 8 to 1, 8 to 2, 8 to 3, 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, 8 to 7, 8 to 0, 0 to 9, 9 to 0, 9 to 0, 9 to 0, 0 to 9, 0 to 9. 9 to 0, 0 to 9, repeatedly. That is by far the fastest way to connect in with your quantum field. We will give you information behind this. Know that the recording of that breath exists in many of our previous breath practices and channeling sessions. That is the fastest way simply because the ninth energy center of the human is the quantum field. The zero energy center of the human is the quantum field. And there is a straw of quantum energy within your spinal column, your nervous system, that is also the quantum field. In a short discussion after this channeling session, your host will explain the process of producing a rapid connection to the quantum field using 9, 0, and the quantum energy field that connects the two after this channeling session is complete. Your next question, please.
Next question is from Melissa. I keep experiencing people who are determined to segment themselves further. A fixation not only race, but gender, sexuality, neurodiversity, etc. How can I transform my own perspective to navigate friendships that feel disconnecting because of this mindset? Or are there new, more compatible connections coming my way? Thank you.
This question is perfect for this time. It has a lot to do with what we said at the beginning of this session, which is the first 2 weeks of your month produced interesting and transformational results for many of you. The second part of your question is the most important part. It is time to connect with those who are in alignment with the values and the coherence you feel within yourself. Those who you described in the first part of your question no longer are serving your energy and no longer assisting you in creating more coherence within yourself. And so, as each of you in this call are experiencing individuals, friends in your world, if you are feeling a lack of coherence and it feels challenging, simply do not pick up the call. It is time to allow these friends to have their experiences without you. Another way to understand this is, and many of you with a more coherent frequency within your body will find that you in some way wish to assist those who have a vibrational frequency that does not align with your brain and heart coherence. What happens then is you are not doing them any favors whatsoever. Instead, your coherence and your well meaning or heartfelt attempts to assist others who are lacking coherence or are, in particular, vibrating at a frequency that does not feel quite right with you, you are doing more harm than good by attempting to assist them because their vibrational frequency of disconnect is where they are existing. When your vibrational frequency of coherence comes into their space, it will further activate the incoherent or lower vibrational frequency to where they will feel a sense of survival in that action or activity that is not congruent with yours. And so you will find they will become more activated in whatever mm, pattern they have that is coming from a place of their own lack of coherence. And for many of you in your world, you may describe it as dysfunctional. So, because that word has a negative connotation, we would like for you to see that it is okay to use the word dysfunctional when perceiving the experience outside of yourself of the lack of coherence. Know that your high vibrational frequency, your coherence, will activate the dysfunctional patterning in the individual outside of you. That does not mean you need to fix or save them. That simply means that you need to see that they are out of balance and there are other individuals in their world who will assist them in coming into coherence in a way where maybe they will come back around to you at another time and the friendship that you have, that you remember, if it is coherent, it will return. If it is not coherent, it will not return. Bless, love, and send these people on their way so that they can be free as well. We will take your next question, please.
It is close to the top of the hour. Would you like one more question?
Yes, please. One more question.
Okay, the last question is from Yana. Dear Blue Healers, are there specific frequencies that are healing, rejuvenating, bringing joy, and are there frequencies you advise to avoid? I read that 440 hertz is not harmonious to our cells. Is there a specific Dr. Joe meditation that incorporates healing frequency? Thank you.
This question is so fun for us to answer because, yes, there are frequencies that are better for you and frequencies that are not as coherent for you. And understand that each individual in your world has frequencies for which they will feel better or feel worse. And each individual in your world, only the individual can know which frequency is best for the individual. So you ask about a specific hertz, a specific frequency. Which one is best for you? Lean toward that one. The same is true of any type of meditation that you are doing. Some of the meditations will have music to it that will feel coherent in your heart. If there is a meditation where the words or the music or the overall flow of the experience is in a sense of coherence with your heart, continue to do that one for as long as you continue to feel that sense of coherence, that higher vibrational frequency. For some of you, you find that many of the frequencies that are supposed to be calming, supposed to be positive for you, maybe you aren't feeling that frequency as being or eliciting that result for you. And that is okay. The more important thing with this question is that you begin to understand how all of your perceptual experiences, whether they are designated as meditation or a vibrational frequency of healing, if they are producing results in your body whereby they feel a little off, uncomfortable, or outright painful, or you notice when you are listening that your entire body has become very tense, perhaps it is time for you to understand that that perception, that experience you are having, is producing a lack of coherence in you, and you might make a different choice in your future. So, Yana, we thank you for your question, and we thank you for the love and connection that you have because we sense into your field, you as a specific individual, that your coherence as it rises and as it has risen from where it was even a week or two, a month or a year ago, is so profoundly more aware and sensitive that you are actually able on your own to discern which of these meditations is right for you in the moment. And we love that you are coming closer to being able to sense our presence without the need of music or meditation of any kind. Continue what you are doing. You are on the right track. And this concludes the questions for today. Please close your eyes. We will do one cycle, one sequence of the spiral breath so that you can understand in your body what it feels like. So, with your eyes closed, focus your energy in the eighth energy center. For those of you who are new to this experience, the eighth energy center is like a beautiful orb of light that floats above the human head. If you were to reach up with your hand to feel it, it would be like the warmth of your sunlight at a time of the day after the sun has risen or before it sets. There is a gentle warmth and glow of your eighth energy center. In your artwork, it appears as a halo around the human head. This eighth energy center connects you to the collective information of your kind. All the beliefs that you have about yourselves and your world, whether you choose to believe them yourself or whether they are different from your beliefs, does not matter. That information is there. The eighth energy center also is any information humans have about the universe. Whether conscious or unconscious, it does not matter. This information of the eighth energy center is simply the collective energy that is sometimes expressed through your mythology. The reason it is important to know this information is because you will release your pain and suffering, your challenges into the collective information, and with your breath, you will draw in new information, new imprints, new vibrational frequencies. You don't need to have specifics, simply know that is how it works. And so, with this breath practice, you will begin breathing in from 8 to 1. We will do that now. Simply follow the directions and allow yourself to focus on your breath. You cannot do it wrong. We will begin now. Breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release from 1 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 2 in a spiral. Release from 2 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 3 in a spiral. Release from 3 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 4 in a spiral. Release from 4 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 5 in a spiral. Release from 5 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 6 in a spiral. Release from 6 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 7 in a spiral. Release from 7 to 8 in a spiral. Breathe in from 8 to 0 in a spiral. Release from 0 to 9 in a spiral. Breathe in from 9 to 0 in a spiral. Release from 0 to 9 in a spiral. And resume your natural breathing. Scanning your body once again for the space you have created in your body. This concludes the channeling for today. There will be a short discussion following. Begin to sense and feel into your body as it exists in your space. Allow gentle movement of your fingers and your limbs. Perhaps move your face a little. And when you are ready, open your eyes. We thank you for your time here today. We thank you for the beauty of your hearts. We thank you for doing the breath in this context so that the coherence you all feel can be shared. We love to see the expansive energy in this space. Each week it grows. Continue to ask questions of us. Continue to reach out in this context or in your regular meditations at home. We are always here to answer your questions, and we are always willing to assist with your healing process. All right. Wonderful. Thank you. I just want to thank you all for your questions. I want to thank you all for being here. And I want to tell you a little bit about the spiral breath. So you now have in the recording how the breath works, doing the spiral, right? So they asked me to add a little bit more for understanding. And with that spiral breath, it is your greatest ally in terms of clearing the body. And this is according to the Blue Healers, for clearing the body of whatever imprints or vibrational frequencies that are not aligned with the health and well-being that you want. And that it's not specific to the body, it's specific to just the human experience in general. So as you're pulling the energy down from 8 to 1, 8 to 2, whichever you're doing, begin to sense that the spiral is expanding out within your body. So a little like a tornado, right? It comes in sort of in this vortex. And for anyone who's ever seen a video or a movie that shows a depiction of a tornado, right? It's spiraling and it's pulling things in. So what you'll want to do is to either with the inhale or the exhale, and you can't do it wrong. So just try different ways of doing it. You want to breathe in that spiral. So, say you're having a lot of physical symptoms, you're very ill. You want that spiral to be pulling in energy from every cell of your body and pulling it into that center line and depositing it or pulling information into 1 or 2 or 3. Because what it's doing is it's creating this energy that collects into a small space. And then as you release the breath, you exhale and you allow that spiral to go back up into eight and release into the collective energy of the halo above your head. You're saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to pull it in. I'm going to put it into one small, tiny space, and then I'm going to allow it to go straight up and be in eight, where maybe that information is going to be useful to another living experience on the planet. So imagine maybe it's like a little bit of a compost pile up here, right? Or it's releasing up there, and maybe the plants are going to take it in, the illness, the vibrational frequency of whatever you believe that is for your illness. And then you can pull in the collective energy of information of wellness and try not to give it much thought. Try not to give it form. Don't try to be exact. Allow it to be in the unknown, right? So then you're pulling energy in with your spiral as well, and then releasing as well. So maybe when you're breathing in, you feel that you're pulling the lower vibrational frequency in. And maybe when you exhale, you're feeling that you're expanding and letting it go. It may be the opposite for somebody else. Maybe you're pulling in the energy of wellness, whatever that means, leave it general from eight, and then you're releasing, right? Going up. It doesn't matter how you do it. Just know that that spiral that comes down when you're doing the individual energy centers, 1 through 7 up to 8, individually, that you are simultaneously pulling in wellness, releasing illness, however you want to do that. Now, here's where it gets a little more interesting and where the healers wanted me to specifically give you information about 9 to 0, right? So you've done the 1 through 7, 8, right? 8 to 1, 8 to 2, 8 to 3, and all that. And then you're ready to move into the 0 field, right? So you pull from 8 down to 0. And what's that? Okay, so 0 is the quantum field. It's an energy center that's below the base of the spine. And so now anything goes, right? So we're not talking about you and your physical healing necessarily anymore. We're talking about expanding into all possibility, which includes wellness, right? It includes health, it includes higher vibrational frequencies. But when you are going in that spiral down to 0, and then you release back up to 9, which is also the quantum field, you're activating the quantum field within all of your cells. So to describe it a little more, with a little bit more detail, and I had to do this with the graphic designer yesterday, and fortunately I have a straw here. Straw. So within your system, straight down through the spine is a straw, right? And so your vibrational energy, or the energy that circles around the body, it's your energy circulatory system, right? It goes out through the top of the head, it circles around, back up through one, and you all know how that works. If for anyone who's done any breath practice or yoga or anything, right? You have an energy field that surrounds you, and it comes up the straw, right? Not within, but your energy field is actually the external part of the straw. So the quantum field is the space in between. So when you're doing the spiral breath from 9 to 0, 0 to 9, 9 to 0, 0 to 9, and do it as many times as you like. And for those of you who lose consciousness, know that that's absolutely happened to me. And what I find is it's better for me to hold on to something when I'm meditating. I just put my foot, in a bucket of sand if I have to, or hold something in my hand. And when I feel it, yeah. So there's a way to not black out. Uh, if it's blackout from meditation, if it's something else, that's a whole other conversation. All right. So you got your straw, right? And you're breathing in and you're doing your spiral, and it goes around this straw. It doesn't go in the straw. The straw is the quantum field in the inside. So your energy field is the outside of the straw, and you have this blank space in between that is the quantum field that's connecting 9 and 0. So when you breathe in and out, from 9 to 0, 0 to 9, you're activating the quantum field that goes through the center of your spine. And in doing that, you become more coherent in the process. So you are, in essence, just the quantum field having a moment, a human moment of who you are and what you look like. And when you have lack of coherence, meaning illness of some kind, the best and fastest way to get back into balance is to activate the inner chamber of your energy field, which is the quantum between 9 and 0, and stay there a while. And maybe when you're doing it, you'll be like, I have a lot of energy in my third energy center, so I'm going to go ahead and spiral down to 3, and then you release. So follow the practice as it is given, and understand too that your body will give you information. Allow the breath to release the tension wherever that might be in your physical body into that spiral. So that is the basics right there of the spiral breath. I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys the ability to unmute yourselves if you have questions specifically about that, or clarification on how to do something that was discussed today. Go ahead and you can unmute yourselves now and ask those questions.
Hi, Jan. Thank you so much.
Hi, Anna.
I have a question regarding intention. So when we do the 9 to 0 breath, do we have to set a certain intention before we do that? Or is it just like doing the breath and allowing, like trusting the process and yeah.
The answer is yes, both. My preference is to not give it any intention past the start. So when I begin the breath practice, I'll say to the blue healers, I'm just creating the intention of bringing coherence into my body in whatever that form is. There are occasions where I'll start with my intention being a little bit more specific, like I would like to get more information or create more coherence around why my shoulder hurts today. So I may be more specific, but then once the breath practice starts, I highly recommend tossing everything out and just rolling with what comes in the moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. Really, really enjoyed that further explanation of the breath work, especially the visualization of the straw. That added a complexity to my own visualizations, and I will uh, bounce off of what I'm seeing in the chat, which is they're also enjoying the explanation, and the graphic artist depiction is an exciting thing that we're all looking forward to.
Me too. It's going to be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, while there's a good amount of us still here, I'd like to address the ALS Coherence Group emails. I know you said you sent some out. I personally have not received any, and I did check my junk mail. So I know it's a work in progress. Um, maybe there's some others on here who also have their email in but have not received anything yet. So I
Yeah.
know timing will be perfect, but just
Yeah.
wanted to share that information.
Yeah, let me address that. So, as I've said to a couple of people, we all have our gifts in certain areas, and technology is not one of mine. Um, it is so much, in fact, that I've just hired somebody to take over the email situation. So, yeah, I created a new account. Apparently, this person created a new account for me, thanks to all my volunteers. I'm so grateful for your assistance with any technology issues that I do have. Really grateful. So just know in the next couple of weeks, she and I will work out. I just have to transfer over um, 150 email addresses into that. So she's assisting me with downloading those email addresses with your names. So it'll take just a couple weeks for me to get all that put together. And Yeah, sorry about that. In my mind, that went a little bit better than the actual practical experience of it. I thought, I could do this. This is great. And then, yeah, it's not my thing. I think I'll stick to the channeling and let someone else do the email part. But just know, no matter what, I will always put the information into the Telegram chat. And you are more than welcome to invite anybody to the Telegram chat. And I also put the link to my website in the chat space earlier on in this call. If you want to click on that link, there's an opt-in form as well, which is great. So if anyone wants to be part of it or just to check it out, you can certainly check out the website. It's a good place to start. But thank you for your patience. Again, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the skills that you do have. No one can have all of them, including myself.
Yeah, I love all of you who have skills in technology. I really do. I feel super grateful. All right, I can take a question or two more if anyone else has questions.
Hello,
And
hi.
then hi,
Oh,
Victoria.
sorry. Hi, and thanks very much for another great session, Jan. And I have a question about breath. I tend to be running out of breath basically whenever I'm spiraling up to say 8 or 9. It kind of feels a little bit a long way. I tend to run out of breath by the time I get there, and in my panic, I kind of gasp a little and not or take an extra breath in between. And I'm just wondering how badly does it affect the whole process? Does it break it for me? Does it um, kind of ruin it for me, or is it okay for me to recover and start spiraling it again?
That's a great question. So every person has their own ability, right? The amount of breath you can take in and take out. And I find too with the remember, I do a lot of breath work, so I practice more, and that means that for me, the breath may feel a little bit longer. And for the blue healers, they don't breathe at all, so it's even more interesting on my end, where I'm like, okay, you guys speed this up because humans can't do that. So Victoria, this is a great question. They have been saying recently in the channeling sessions to go ahead and go at your own pace. So if that means you need to shorten the way you visualize 0 to 9, breathe in 9 to 0, breathe out 0 to 9. If you need to shorten that in your own mind and in your own practice, definitely do so. If you can do it all in one breath from 8 to 1 or 1 to 8 or 8 to 0, however you're doing it, great. You also can just visualize that it's gone a little faster in your mind, right? So if you have a breath that lasts 3 seconds in and 3 seconds out, then you literally go from 9 to 0 in 3 seconds and 0 to 9 in 3 seconds. It is always a little bit more challenging when someone's leading it and you're trying to stay with their breath. But thank you for helping me be more mindful as the human side of me transmits the information because I actually, in each of those breaths, count to five. I count to five in and I count to five out to try to keep it more where the human breath cycle is. So, yeah, you're not doing it wrong. It's great. If you need to recover in the middle, that's totally fine. Yeah, just keep doing
Okay,
it.
thanks very much.
Thanks for
So
your question.
I don't have to visualize the spiral per se, do I? As you say, it can be just a tornado sort of sweeping through. Because I'm like in a multi-story car park, I'm climbing up this ladder, this sort of spiral staircase, and it feels like a long way. And I
Yeah, I
probably
love
should.
that. See, you could also see it as a DNA strand.
Okay, and how
Um,
many evolutions would it have? I mean, how tight is the spiral? If it's like a
Now
string.
that's an excellent question because for some people they see a very tiny tight spiral and it's whipping fast, like multiple revolutions around. And for some people they see a very slow spiral that only does 3 or 4 turns.
Wow,
So
very slow.
work with an image in your mind that works for you, that feels most comfortable for you. But I would say running up and down stairs could be challenging in the even in the visual. So maybe a slide.
Thanks very much. Thank you so much for
You're, you're welcome.
the explanation. Thank you.
Lori?
Yeah, I often have that too, Victoria, where I'll run out of breath. And I work with that in two different ways. Sometimes I just adjust the speed of the spiral depending on where my breath is for each intake, outtake, or day. And then a lot of times, if I ran out of intake capability in my lungs, I still mentally watch the spiral get to the energy center, and I think it's still doing the same thing. So that works for me if that's something you want to try.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely give it a go. Thank you.
Great answer. Love it. All right. One more question.
If we can have another question, I have a question. So I have someone that I'm working with, and he has Parkinson's, and we have been practicing the breath together. And I wanted to ask if you have any tips or any suggestions on how I can help him better, like to make this more efficient for him or to help him in the most efficient way that I can.
Yes, thank you for the question. I had migraines, so all the neurological conditions flowed into my field, and I feel like this is it's a beautiful way to return the blessings that have come into my life with my experience. So Yana, my first recommendation is to do the breath practice where you breathe in through your feet to the heart and out through the palms. This is what the Blue Healers have called the grounding breath. And a lot of times, neurological symptoms are greatly eased or feel soothed by earth energies. So if you don't know this breath, just reach out and I'll see if I can find a recording of it specifically for you so that you can do the practice and you can play it for the person. But breathing the earth energies in through the feet, up through the legs, past the hips to the heart, and expanding the heart energy wide, and then releasing from the heart down the shoulders, down the arms, through the palms, either back to the earth. They can put their palms on their hearts at certain times, palms on the lap, whatever it is that allows them to feel and pull that grounding energy throughout the body. So if you imagine you're pulling that earth energy, or just it's the vibrational frequency of our earth, which is a very healing, right? It's here for a reason to assist us. So you're pulling that earth vibrational frequency into the heart. You're expanding that heart energy center wide. If the person is able to, allow them or ask them to expand that heart energy center completely around the body, so that every cell of the body and the energy field itself is being informed by earth energy, vibrational frequency of the earth. It's much slower than when you're pulling energy from above, or the universe, which doesn't have a 3D essence to it. So it's a different feeling. So breathing up through the feet to the heart, allowing that heart energy center to expand, allowing that earth energy to expand through the cells, releasing from the heart down the arms through the palms. And no direction, no intention, just do the breath without even giving it any more thought than that. Let me know how it goes.
So, Jan, should he actually imagine that he's wrapped in this, like when he pulls the air from the earth and expands in the heart, should he feel like he's in the blanket of this when he expands, or it's not necessary?
I think it's best for him to allow himself to interpret the experience he's having on his own without trying to give too much information. The most important piece of information is that he's pulling the earth energies into the heart energy center, and from there it expands to all the cells in his body. And then the
Mm-hmm.
release is just an exhale. And then maybe get a little curious and ask questions when it's done. Say, hey, how'd that go for you? What did you see? What did you experience? And you'll get things where people will say, I didn't experience anything at all. I was just breathing, and it's okay. Because you're pulling the intention in as the practitioner, you're saying to yourself, hey, just pulling this in, the intention of healing for you. Even if they don't feel anything, even if they don't, have any profound visions or experiences, that's perfectly normal and perfectly okay. Just know that you are you are calling on the blue healers. It is their breath practice. It is encoded with the vibrational frequency of earth energy, health, and wellness. And the person's going to get benefit out of it that way. And it may take time because remember, the 3D body is very dense and it takes time for the energetic frequencies to vibrate out into all the cells and align everything in the external world into that health and wellness. And then it'll probably, what I've seen in my own experience, I should say, I felt like I worked hard, and nothing was happening. And I worked hard and thought things were happening. And then I worked hard. And then it all happened at once. So it was an incremental succession of little bits of things that were healing in me. And then one day I was well. And that was my experience. So when people say to me, I don't feel it, I don't know if anything's going on, my response always is, it's working because it's working. You're doing the practice. You're showing up for it. And people who keep returning to do breath practice or meditation or whatever it is people are doing, people who keep returning know that it's working. Even if they doubt it, they wouldn't come back if they didn't truly believe that something was happening. So hope that gives you inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you again, all of you, for being here. Sending you love, love, love from Hawaii. Enjoy the beautiful day. I'll see you next Tuesday. Friday, there's a special occurrence happening. I had a request for doing past life regression. I asked the Blue Healers if they'd be interested in getting a little bit behind that. So Friday, 7 a.m. Let's check it out. Let's see what's going to happen. I think it could be very healing. So for those of you who are looking for a healing session, it's probably the same thing there too. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you.